Hi guys, this is the third time I've tried to record this video, and for technical reasons it's just not worked. This is not a tutorial video, it's not really an update video, it's just to show off, for lack of a better word, something I've been working on over this weekend. Now, the next video for the roguelike one will be about dungeons. I need to do some thinking about that, so I've been putting off doing that. Uh, there's some life things I've got in the way, some work things, and some other things that I'm not willing to talk about just now. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to the game that I worked on when I was doing some stuff 12 years ago. So this is from 2006, and this is a game called Lunar Lockout. And it's based on a puzzle game, which is a little tiny puzzle game about that size, the size of two packs of cards smushed together. And you move these little figures, and the goal is to get this red thing on the bottom, there. Not me. I'm not. I know I'm a red thing today, but not me. The other red thing. The red thing. I don't know where I'm pointing. That way. That red thing. That red thing there. To get that red thing inside the center square. And there's a lot of puzzles from these guys. Um, But I was looking for something kind of quick, so I thought it took me about a month, I think, to do this. Um, and the reason why I bring it up is because I decided this weekend after finding it, I was digging out some things on an old hard drive, and I found the source code, and I thought, gee, I wonder how long that would take to do uh, in Unity. So I just want to show you the original one. So this is the original game here, and you can see that it's a bit yeah, not particularly great. So all the graphics that you see here, it's this all the meshes and things, they're going to be used in the remake. The remake. God. Ah, so full of myself. They're going to be used in I guess it is a remake. I remade it in Unity, so it is a remake. Um, so all these meshes are the exact same. The only difference is that the transparency is not in there. Um, and that's probably a good thing because I didn't have dual meshes on there, so you can actually see through to the other side. So, whoops. Anyhow, um, so the goal is, like I said, is to get this little red guy into the center square, and the controls are not good. They take a bit of coaxing to get anywhere. So this is me like clicking and trying to get things to move. So you go over here, you press space, you then move, you drop them down, you then pick them up again, and then you repeat that until you get in the center. Now this one here is slightly different, so uh, what you need to do for this one is lift him up, go over here, and then there, and then there. So this is a slightly kind of longer one to do, but eventually, oops, see what I mean? The selection is not as good, and so on. So then it moves on to the rest of it. So like I said, I wondered how long it would take to remake that in Unity. So that's exactly what I did. I took some time on Saturday, like I said, and I remade it, and I think it did not a bad job. So this is the remake here, um, and you can see it is, uh, the board layout is exactly the same. It's not changed much. Um, it's a higher resolution screen, so obviously there is more pixels in there. The cursor is a lot more responsive, but it's the exact same puzzles. Because all I did was I just took the puzzles that I had in the text file and transferred them across here. Uh, all of this source code, the C++ version and the Unity version, it's linked below, but it's inside a GitHub repository, which is online just now. So if you want to go and browse it, then feel free to do it. But I did add some other things as well. So I've got the desktop audio turned off, but if I turn it on, you can probably hear the desktop audio plonking in the background there. So there's music in there. It does boop 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 boops when you move and when you pick up things. And you notice that I also have this telltale marker there. So the idea will be that you can turn it on, turn it off. And also there's an animation there that shows you what piece has been picked up. And you can pick up any piece you want. But none of the pieces in this board have actually got, like, you can't move them anywhere, except for this one here. This one can be moved down to there. So you can move that to there, and then it's like, well, where do you go from here? Because you can't move anywhere. So you can only move if you're being blocked by a robot. So that's the problem. So now at this point you're like, well, I'm stuck. I can't complete this level. So luckily there's an undo. So you can press undo, which is another new feature inside this one here. So let's finish the sequence here. And when we finish it, we go in there, it plays a little fanfare, and then you go down the sort of memory hole and then start again. And so the game continues. And so you can see that you can move to this point here and so on. So that's the game there. The inner workings of it is basically, this is the board here. Let me get rid of this fade to black thing. This is the board. So it's just a board in space. How do I detect? So I thought when I was initially doing this, I thought, okay, I'm going to make it all grid based, but then I was like, well, I want to have sort of slight movements towards things, so I don't want it to be like too grid based. And it's kind of similar to the way I was thinking. The reason why I wanted to try it is because it's kind of similar to the movement that I want for my roguelike, which is it kind of animates the move to the next square. So that's exactly what this does is, if you're on this square here, when you select it, it shoots a ray out in that direction, and basically in the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west. And if it hits a robot, it says, okay, or the astronaut, I can go to one of these three squares, or the square in front of that robot. So if there's a robot here, I can go to this square here. So it's that's how I do it, and it just transitions to that position. And all of these are positioned. If I click on a square here, you'll see that the position is 0, and then the next one is -1, -2, 1, 2, and so on. They're all on whole numbers, so it makes the math a lot easier. And then over here is the pieces themselves. And the way they get placed on the board is I have a whole bunch of resource files here, and that just, it's like O is for orange, R is for the astronaut because he's red, P is for purple, G for green, all that kind of stuff. And that's the board. It's a 5x5 board, and that's all we do. And this is it. That's the one and only one and only scene for the game itself. I only need one scene. I don't need anything else. All the levels are just data, so that's why I load them in as. The other thing is the direction lines. So if I highlight that, each direction line is based on a square texture that is exactly 1 unit in size. And what that means though is if I go into materials and I choose this is the texture here, and I choose the offset, you can see that I can actually animate the offset, and that's exactly what I do. Is I have a script called Trundle, and all it does is it just animates the offset. And depending on where you are, where I set these are that's a line renderer, by the way. So if I go to DL1, you'll see that it's a line renderer, and it is width of 1 because it's 1 unit wide. If I make it 2, you can see that it's double wide now. And then all I do is I change the positions, and I have 2 positions. I have a start and an end, and they're always a certain length. So they're always one or two or three or four, or well, sorry, one or two or three, because it can only be a maximum of three, because you can be there and there, and anyway. So it's always exactly three. So that means that these chevrons animate quite nicely, and look the business. Um, and yeah, so that's really it. And so what I want to do is do a separate video for little bits and pieces that I found out. And so the reason why I wanted to make this game is because I just wanted to make a game. Because normally when I do a video, I do it of a very specific small thing, and I never make a full game. The difference is this roguelike that I'm making. Um, and so I just wanted to set out and see how long it would take me to make a simple game like this. And so it took me about an afternoon to get the sort of mechanics down right. It needs a bit of polish, but for the most part, it's finished. I think I need to have like screen shake and particle effects and all those good things um, that Vlambeer have in their games, and then that would make it kind of a really cool version of this game. But yeah, I think that's the bare bones is there, and I think there's nothing else to do but to polish it. Um, anyway, so that's what I was doing this weekend. I hope you're making a game yourself. That would be awesome as well, and maybe you could share the game in the link in the comments below. That would be awesome as well. So I'm not looking for likes on this video. Normally I go give us a like and all that kind of stuff. What I would like you to do is if you're interested, if you came to this channel by accident to this video, then please seek out my other videos. I've got a whole bunch of videos on Unity, C++, all that kind of stuff. And if you like those videos, if you wouldn't mind sharing them on social media, that would be awesome as well. And thank you very much for watching this video. Hope it's not too rambling. There'll be a new video, like I said, next Thursday, all about the roguelike. And you can see that in the list of videos there as well. And so yeah, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.